Yes, good morning student. I am Dr. Jyoti Dachora. Today I am delivering my lecture on sampling techniques, which is very useful topic for the point of view of research, and those who are involved and indulged in the research, the students definitely gain some benefit from this lecture. As the pictures itself explaining about what is population and what is sample. So, the entire mass of the in a specific geographical area, the people or items and objects are residing and living in the particular geographical area is known as its population. And when we take some people, some persons, some items and objects from this entire population is known as its sample. Let us discuss the concept and definition of the population and sample in detail. So, let us say it is basically a group of individual objects and items from which we can take our sample for the research point of view or research purpose. The sample is basically it is a subset of a population, or we can say it is a part of the entire population which is used for our research study basically. And as we have discussed about population, population is a body of person or individual having a quality or characteristics in common. Those all people who are residing in a common geographical area where they are have all person and objects and items have these similar characteristics are known as population. So, in simple we can say the sample is a subset of a population. What is sample frame? Basically, when we have identified our population from which we have to derive our sample. So, before we take our sample from the entire population, we have to set some frame for the sample. So, once for example, in a Bhilwara city, if we want to take some working women sample of some working women, then we have to set frame for the women from the entire population. So, that is our sample frame, and from that sample frame of working women, suppose for example, we have 1000 working women residing in the Bhilwara city. So, this is our sample frame, and from these 1000 working women we have to take our sample for our research study. So, before we go for the detail of the sample and the population and all the entire concept of the sampling technique, we have to identify and distinguish properly what is the census survey and the sample survey, right. So, census survey means when we take the data from each and every individual of the population is known as census survey. For example, in every 10 years we are counting our population. Government are counting the population. So, this type of survey when we are taking the data from the each and every person of the population is known as census survey, and when we take the sample from that particular population and then we take our data from the decided sample and the sample which we have taken, this is known as the sample survey, right. So, I think it is clear. This is the pictorial presentation. Universe means the entire mass. For example, which we have recently discussed about the universe means the all the people or population residing in the Bhilwara city is our universe, and the 1000 working women is our population from which we are going to take our sample for our research study, and this is the 200 women is our sample out of the 1000 working women. So, this is the concept of universe, population and sample. Basically, this population we can classify into two terms, that is target population and accessible population. Target population is as we have discussed in our example that 1000 working women is our target population, but sometimes it is not population, sometimes our research study is that type we cannot access all the 1000 working women, we cannot reach them and we cannot able to collect data from that working women. So, those suppose 200 working women we have our target population, and only 150 working women's data we can collect easily, we can access those 150 women, then it is known as our accessible population. So, target population and accessible population sometimes differ as per our research study and as per our geographical location, it varies from so we can not say the population is the single population, but sometimes we can classify it as a target population as well as for the accessible population, from which actually we can reach them and we can collect our data. These are some features of a good sample. We can when we can say it is a good kind of sample, if it is accurate representative of our universe or our population is known as our good kind of sample. Means that sample which we have taken from the population, it has all its characteristics of the population and it is actually representative of the entire population, is known as our sample and good sample. It is large enough, means we can derive some results on the basis of our population, our sample, and when we apply those results on our population, it will give the same results. So it is large enough. Random selection means there is no chance of biasness, there is no chance of some impurity in our sample. So it is best method to select our sample through the random sampling method. So random selection, economical enough, because sometimes our research study is the researchers do not have that much of amount to spend on their research. At that time it is this concept and this aspect is very important for the point of view of research, that data collection and sampling, and when we collect the data, how much money we can spend to collect data, how much we can travel, how much we can expense on the data collection. So this is economical enough when we say, and from the point of economic point of view, it is economical enough for the researcher to collect data from that particular sample. Practical, we can apply these theories, and field work, we can go for the field work with this sample, and we can do some practical experiment with the sample. So these are the some common characteristics which should the sample possess, and it is known as a good sample. Now the types of our sampling methods and sampling techniques. So there are basically 3 types of sampling methods: probability sampling method, non-probability sampling methods, and mixed type of sampling method. So first we are going to discuss about the non-probability sampling method. Again, it is very important for the researcher which sample method we have to choose for our research, and which is the best method for sample collection. So let's see. Non-probability sampling, again of 4 types. First is judgment quota sampling, convenience sampling, and snowball sampling. So let's see non-probability sampling methods. The first one is the judgmental sampling method, where in this method the entire responsibility is the researcher's only, when he or she will use his knowledge, his expertise, his experience and judgment to select the sample. Okay. So sample selection which investigates things to most typical of the universe, and the knowledgeable person who are already involved, expert in that particular field, involved and indulged in the research field, he or she use his expertise, his knowledge, his experience to select the sample, is known as judgmental sampling. And it is very common and popular method by which any researcher can select their sample. It is a small number of sampling unit when we require for our research, then that time we can use the judgmental sampling method. And business decision, when we want to take frequent business decision, that time this method for sample selection is very useful, because we cannot have that much of time to collect and use the another method for sample collection. That time we can use our expertise, our knowledge and our area and judgmental techniques. We can select our sample and give quickly the any kind of business decision through our research. So biasness should be there, because sometimes researchers biased in terms of their personal interest or like that. So they can use and misuse their judgment power, or that time this method is sometimes we can say it is not fair enough. Now this is a very good example and pictorial presentation of judgmental sampling method. Suppose sample size for study 8. We want to take, we have the 20 student class and we want to take a 8 student sample. Okay, in that case the teacher can use their judgment, their decision power, their knowledge and their expertise to select those 8 students from the 50 students class out of 50 students, and this is the 8 student sample we can take out of 50 students. So, class of 20 students and the sample of 8 students by the judgmental method of the teacher. Now, the second one is convenience sampling method. Convenience, as the word is indicating, convenience means our facility, according to our easiness we can select our sample, but this sample method is generally avoided in the research purpose because it is not good enough to select our sample when the researcher is choosing the sample to have our comfort level to decide as per our convenience. So, let us see the example convenience sampling. Look at this picture. The students are here represented in different color, green, red, yellow, purple and like this. So, class of 100 students and 20 students select as per convenience. Sometimes teachers are not bothered about that, why we are selecting from randomly and all this. Then if they use the convenience sampling, then only first 2 rows, this one, the last row is selected by the teacher and this is as per their convenience. So, it is not known as a good sampling method to select our sample, because sometimes it is possible that we can have the very good data from the rest of the students which are not in our sample. So, this is not a good method, or it is used basically in the pilot study. We have to use some sample and then we can do our research with this sample and then we can conclude, but major research project we cannot, it is not fair to select this convenience sampling method, it is not good for the research. Unsatisfactory and biased result should be there when we use and go with this convenience sampling method. Now, the another method, known probability sampling method, is quota sampling method, where the quota in form of percentage. Generally in government jobs also we are seeing that 60% reservation, ST, SC, like that. So, the quota is fixed. Similarly, in this research you have to fix the quota to select your sample. So, interview 500 people, it is our population, and we have to fix and form some quotas. For example, 60% housewives, 25% farmers and 15% children under age of 15. This is our percentage quota fixed, and then after 60% of 500 is 300, 25% of 500 is 125 and then 15% of 500 is 75. This is our quota sample, and then after this quota sampling we have use our personal judgment and required person we can choose for our research study. It is very useful and mostly used and preferred by the researchers for doing their research. It is very unbiased method, or it is very fair judgment. Public opinion studies we can use this type of quota sampling, where we can go for the large scale research study. Biasness is there because sometimes when the researcher want to fix their percentage of quota, then they can, that time he or she will be biased. Now, the last one is the last non-probability sampling method is snowball sampling method. It is very special, and it is used when the sample characteristics is very rare. Generally sometimes very rare disease. So, its symptoms is not visible, its characteristics are not visible. Sometimes it very rare study or rare characteristics is there in the universe or in population. That time we use this kind of sampling method. Or it is very difficult to post and locate respondents in this situation. We cannot locate because some rare disease, if some people are suffering from some rare disease or its symptoms and its characteristics are not visible, then how can we identify that patient who is suffering from this disease? That time we have to identify first. Look at this picture. Identify first person who is suffering from that particular disease, and then with the help of that person we can locate the another person. like chain system. Okay, so and then the other 2 person will again guide us to locate the another person who are suffering from the same disease. So this study stops when no new cases are given or the sample is as large as is manageable. In there is two condition when this sampling will stop, when there is no no more cases are given, no more such kind of person are having these typical type of disease, and if when we can stop our sample when we have the large enough sample to which we can easily manageable. So this is all about the non-probability sampling methods, which is very useful method to identify and collect your sample for your research. Thank you so much.